Hello and welcome to the channel. I hope that you are all well. I hope you've had the opportunity to view the second part of the competition, the Masters. During that video I mentioned having taken fish on the mini bugger. On the Saturday last session, the last session of the day, I took 3 fish, but one was on the point on a white bugger and the other 2 were on a black bugger as droppers. So when it came to the final session on the Sunday, I put up exactly the same rig, and after fishing up my sector I started to fish down, and after half a dozen casts I hadn't had an offer, no attention whatsoever, which was really strange. So I immediately changed the point fly from white to coral, and it had an instant effect. So today I'm going to tie the coral mini bugger for you, so hopefully that you can catch some fish on it too. Right, the materials that we're going to use for the body is a coral dubbing. This is number 19 from Hens. For the tail, marabou, again from Hens, and this is number 14, which is coral. And some flash for the tail, which is pink with green pearl touch. And for the body, to create the bugger, a hackle from a grizzly cape. Don't need a lot. And in the vise I have a size 12, just a standard nymph hook, size 12, and a 3.8 silver bead, and I'll be tying with pink 8/0 thread. So let's get into the tying. The effect of putting on this coral bugger was absolutely instant. Which was quite pleasing, on the basis that sometimes you make a fly change, it makes no difference whatsoever. So I'm just going to wind this down the shank. Create a bit of a base here. Right, now for the tail, you really don't need a great deal. Some of you that have seen some of my previous videos, I've described this as a strimf because you can use it as a streamer or you can fish it as a nymph. Right, so I'm just going to take that piece off, probably about maybe 3/4 of an inch, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to tie this in, tie the body down. Right, and I'm going to put one wrap underneath, just to keep the tail lifted. Trim off this excess. And bind that down. And back down to the tail. Right, now I'm going to cut the tail to length now with my nail. It doesn't need to be too long. So there we go, and I suppose that is possibly 2 centimeters, about 3/4 of an inch. And that's really the only tail that you need for this fly in this style. I'm going to tie in some of this flash. And one of the reasons that I've cut the tail first is so that I can just measure up the flash to tie it in, like so. Tie it down and tie in on the other side as well. And trim up to length. Tie that down. Just bind everything down again. And now we're going to tie in the hackle, the grizzly hackle. Now, I really don't think it matters on this particular fly which way the feather is tied in, because when you wind it, it will be wound straight, and it really won't make any difference to the fly. It's just an attractor, a bit of movement. Right, now for the dubbing, I have said before that of course you can use this in one long strand, but I prefer to take it off and put it on in smaller strands because I think it's easier to work with. And you can always add more, which I will do, I know. So just wind this on at the back like so. Tighten it up. I'm going to put on a little bit more. I'm just going to build it up a little bit at the front behind the bead. Like so. Right, as I've just said, I don't think it really matters at all. I don't think it matters which way the fibres are actually running. And tie off the feather. And trim up the hackle. Right, now before I tie it off, I'm going to put some glue on the thread. And trim up the thread. And that's all there is to it. As I said, I put this onto the point fly in place of the white. They had definitely, the black and the white, had caught trout the night before, and I was confident that they were going to do the same, but they proved me wrong. So there we have the finished fly. Do give it a go. It's a terrific alternative to white, black, olive, and it's very attractive to rainbow trout, the coral colour. I hope you enjoyed the tying. It's very, very simple, but very effective. If you're not already a subscriber, hit the bell, consider subscribing, give it a like, pass a comment if you so wish, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for viewing. Bye.